What up, boys? It's Gaz, and welcome to the Warframe video. So this is a bit of a PSA today for something I don't think everyone really realizes that will be happening later this month. So before we get into it, make sure you check out that Twitch channel if you have not already at twitch.tv/Gaz_TTV. Got my entire schedule for the month at work, so I should be able to actually make a stream schedule coming up pretty soon. And there will be some new emotes on the channel as well, if you want any interest in that. Also, make sure you sub to this YouTube channel if you've not already, for knowing when those videos go up. Alright guys, so what I wanted to make sure that everyone is aware of is that when Mesa Prime Access comes out on the 27th, which is about 2 weeks away, Mesa Prime, Akjagara Prime, and the Redeemer Prime are going to be vaulted. I almost said sunset. They're going to be vaulted. So what that means is you will not be able to obtain them from new relics dropping on the ground, or rather in missions anymore. They will be vaulted. You will basically, if you are a new player that's coming out or coming to the game after the 27th, you will need to buy Mesa Prime from other players or have someone give it to you pretty much, because it will not be droppable in game unless someone else had the relic in the first place. Now, to be fair, and this is going to be a little bit of speculation as well, I feel like the amount of Mesa Prime relics, Redeemer Prime relics, Akjagara Prime relics in the wild are obscenely high. These relics drop a lot from things like Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, normal survival missions. As you can see right here, I have 69 Mesa Prime system blueprint relics, and I don't even know where these came from. And that's a lot of relics right there. And look at the other ones. I have 65 of the common part for Mesa. The Mesa chassis is all over the place. And so Mesa does have 2 rares, so that is something to keep in mind. She might actually go up to be pretty expensive a year later, because she is a very, very popular frame, a very powerful frame, until they nerf her, right? And she does take 2 rare parts and will be vaulted. So the way that Mesa's parts are distributed, she's got 2 rare parts, she's got 1 uncommon part, and she's got 1 common part. Seems like there is a car alarm going off outside. Hopefully that's not mine. So yeah, she might actually go up in price, guys. Like I said, there's so many relics out there. I have 27 Radiant Mesa relics right here. So we'll have to see what ends up happening. So that's one that could go up in price a lot. As you can see right here, the Akjagara Prime Blueprint is a common drop here as well. And you will not be able to get these anymore. Another item that might actually become expensive is the Akjagara Prime and the Redeemer Prime. These are all good weapons, guys. The Akjagara Prime, I think it requires 2 rare parts. Yeah, it requires 2 rare parts as well. If we look at the things we need for Akjagara Prime, we need 2 rares. We need 1 uncommon. Where is the other part? We need 1 common, and then I believe there's a common part that is for the barrel as well. Akjagara Prime link. It's going to be the receiver, right? Alright, so you need 2. Okay, so the Akjagara Prime is actually kind of a nightmare to build. It requires 2 rares, 3 uncommons, and 1 common. So it's a lot of parts, and they are pretty powerful. We'll show a build for it here in a second, but that might become a little bit expensive down the road, because these are pretty much meta weapons. Redeemer Prime, on the other hand, it is really good, but you can honestly just use the Stropha for a lot of things that the Redeemer Prime would be using. The Redeemer Prime does technically scale a lot better than the Stropha, but it also, if it's expensive down the road, maybe he won't even bother. So we've got 1 rare part for the Redeemer Prime, 1 uncommon part, one common part, 1 uncommon part, and I believe the blade is a common. Yeah, so it's not too bad, the Redeemer, to build, so that one might actually be pretty cheap for a while. But like I was saying, I think Mesa Prime and Akjagara Prime could potentially be pretty expensive platinum-wise in the near future. Maybe not near future, but next year. So here's the Mesa Prime build I'm using right here. We've got Eclipse on the first ability with a really low amount of power strength. We've got a 268% increase on damage. That's also going to stack with our second ability, Shooting Gallery. And we have damage reduction from Shatter Shield. The problem with Eclipse is it's very inconsistent. So if you're like, oh, I want damage right now. Well, too bad, you're in the dark. You get damage reduction instead. I want I want damage reduction right now. Well, too bad you're in the light. You get damage. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a yikes, but it's also not like the worst thing in the world. So I really hope they don't nerf Mesa Prime anytime soon, but who knows at the end of the year what's going to end up happening. And I was running a radiation build here for a specific mission, but you can easily change that to different elements. I usually recommend running corrosive or viral on her pistols. Or you could even run pure toxins in certain situations. All right, for the akjagara Prime, I have a build for this on the channel from a while ago, but we've got basically a hybrid crit setup here with a pretty okay Riven. Now, this thing does have basically no recoil, and this does give it some recoil, so I wouldn't recommend a plus recoil Riven on the akjagara Prime. But if you have good stats, like positive stats like multi-shot, cold, critical chance, like sure. Honestly, sure. I could easily replace this for like some heat, put on viral heat, dilute our procs a little bit, but get some armor removal as well while we're at it for follow-up shots dealing more damage. And I technically could put on a steady hands mod to get rid of that negative or that plus recoil right there, and it would actually be just about enough that we would be back to normal with the plus recoil. So you technically could do that. Eject magazine isn't really too important on the akjagara Prime, and it does not have an ammo issue either. So yeah, steady hands is going to be your best bet if you have a recoil Riven like I do, which I mean not a lot of people do have. So this thing doesn't really need an Excellus mod, I'd say, unless you have a bad Riven negative. All right, and then the final one is the Redeemer. Now, there's lots of different Redeemer builds to go for. I'd normally recommend like a heavy attack build, like something like this. You definitely don't need a Bane mod on here. But yeah, something like this will be great. You can even run Condition Overload, even though you don't normally run Condition Overload on heavy attack builds. And then we had... okay, don't run this build, actually. I was doing some weird stuff here. You definitely could just put on this instead of Smite Garnier. Something like that's going to be great. Those double sacrificial mods giving you increased critical chance for those heavy attacks and things like that. So just go with something. You're going to want to combine element, but you know what I mean. You don't actually need a range mod on the Redeemer either. So yeah, guys, I think to keep it, you should definitely, if you do, like for some weird reason, if you are someone that watches the channel, which I think that most people that watch the channel are not like really beginner players, if for some reason you don't have these weapons and the frame Mesa Prime, first off, like, wow, that's impressive that you didn't have it. But second, like, you should go get it right now. You have 2 weeks to go get it if you don't have it already before it potentially will become not as easy to get. Let's see. I'm going to take a quick look at Warframe Market right now to see what these prices are looking like for these items on PC. I believe Mesa Prime is like dirt cheap right now. Let's check it out. Mesa Prime set. The most cheap price for Mesa Prime set is 40 plat right now. And I feel like that's actually kind of high. So, that could definitely go up to 100, like, the week after that Mesa Prime becomes vaulted. But, I mean, that's just a prediction, not actually, like, confirmed market knowledge. The akjagara Prime set's only 40 plat still as well. And we just showed how annoying that was to get. 2 rares, 3 uncommons. Wow, okay. And then the Redeemer Prime, I doubt that's expensive either, because it only has like 3 parts. The Redeemer Prime's only 27 plat. Okay, so yeah. I'd say get it right now if you don't already for some reason. Mesa Prime will be a meta frame unless she gets nerfed someday. She basically plays the game for you. Activate turret mode, everything's dead. Really good scaling damage. Doesn't go like infinite levels, but yeah, it's really, really good. Mesa looks really awesome. Space Cowboy with aimbots, so yeah, guys, hopefully this video is helpful to you. Like I said, I know it's not like the most like, oh man, groundbreaking information right here, but not everyone does realize that Mesa Prime will be vaulted on the 27th, and she is such an important part of the game that you would be stupid not to have her before she gets vaulted. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Please like, share, and subscribe, and take it easy. Peace, guys.